what does a Rick Grimes-less world on The Walking Dead look like?
Well, I think it's going to be a very interesting year. I think this show's kind of going back to its roots, minus Rick Grimes, of course. But I think it feels like it almost has a kind of a Western vibe to it, and it's more on the road than it has been the last couple of years. It's got a good feel, and I think that with Angela Kang kind of taking over, she brought some energy and vitalization to the show that we like, and I think it's going to translate. I'm excited for people to see it.
What is the show like without Rick?
Different, you know. I mean, it's like when the prime minister of a country changes, you know, or the president changes, like the country changes with it. So, but things shift and evolve. And what's interesting about The Walking Dead is it's a show about loss and grief and moving on from that. And at the end of the day, Rick is just another person who the group has lost, albeit someone who they've been with for a lot longer than most people. But that's what the show is about. So I think this is just a hard loss for everyone involved. But, you know, not to get too deep on it, but we all lose our parents and we all lose, you know, this is one of the hardest losses. And I think that's why people connect with it. And it's not just in the show, it's behind the camera as well. And yeah.
What is the show like without Rick?
I'll tell you what it's like without Andy. It's a very different shift in tone and energy. Andy's always been the person that has kind of set the tone for the entire cast and the crew, I would say, too. He works harder than anybody, cast or crew. He's always so optimistic and such a fun person to be around. And it's odd. It is odd. There's no two ways around it. It's a very different show without him. But I think it's still a great show. It's just a different feel. It's a different energy to it.
Who fills that void? Who steps up? We've read reports that, you know, it's going to be Daryl, but Daryl's such a quiet character, too.
Yeah, Daryl's a loner, too. So I think that as Rick exits, new people come up in leadership positions. And it's kind of beautiful to see where people who were once merely followers have felt the need to step up both on the show and off the show to make up for the loss of leadership and passion that Andy brought to that character.
What does the show look like without Rick?
Well, listen, we have a lot of story to tell, and I'll be really honest, the casting this season has been impeccable. All the new characters, it's been a joy to work with them. And you take it one look at Samantha Morton as Alpha, and it's chilling. It's chilling. We were filming a scene the other day, one of the best scenes we shot all season. And I left set and I went back to the makeup effects trailer with my crew, and they were like, I can't wait to see this season. My crew, the people that work on the show, are excited about it. So all we can really hope is that mystery, that intrigue, the idea that there's this whole new threat coming, and it's terrifying. I want to get to it as quickly as we can to let people see how dedicated we are to making the show great and keeping the show great.
What is the show like without Rick Grimes?
I think what's really interesting is a world without Rick Grimes is something that our characters are trying to deal with. And so, you know, we have these wonderful actors in the ensemble, you know, Denai playing Michonne, you know, Melissa doing amazing work as Carol, Norman as Daryl doing like some of the really like deep, interesting work as his character is growing up and finding his voice and style of leadership. So it's really about all these characters as well as the entire ensemble around them telling these stories of like how they move on, and that's really like an exciting thing for them to play, and hopefully will be gratifying for the audience to see too.